All right, it's that time, folks. Time for the end of day report with yours truly, Dex the Algo Capitalist, aka the Vulcan, coming to you live from PulseWaveTrading.com. It's time for that end of day report. Market volatility heating up, price action swinging to and fro, everything going back and forth. People are starting to get a little bit concerned with the coronavirus. They don't know which end is up. People got to know. People want to know what's going down. I'm going to try to give it to you and give you to you raw and uncut. That's how we roll. We let the price action do the talking for us. All right, so let's get into it because we got a lot to look at today. All right, we're going to start off with our first chart, which is going to be Bitcoin. All right, so let's go ahead and cue that up for you. All right, so you know we've been in a bear market. You got the bearish sign right here. You got your grizzly bear roar in the bottom right-hand corner. All right, so we're coming off of this primary crash alert, followed by a secondary crash alert, followed by a primary rally alert signaling a possible bottom being built, followed by another primary crash alert, no follow through. Now we got a positive momentum alert. So a bottom base is trying to be built. Looks like the market is trying to be defended down here around trend line support, which is a good thing for the overall bullish perspective of Bitcoin. Methinks the market wants to try to rally now and get back some of these losses on this side. All right. So right now, I'm going to say that 10,000 zone is in play once again. 10,000, here we come, is what it's looking like. All the market has to do is overcome this corrective state. The question is going to be, if we do bounce, is the rally going to be sold like it was here? That is the million-dollar question. But right now, it's looking like we got a defense going right here. We got a battle going on here around the trend line support. That 9,000 area is being well supported right now and defended. Just got to make sure the market can sustain and remain above it. All right, so you know what this means. We're going into Friday. Friday is Take Back Friday. All right, here's what we got. Here's what we're looking at, folks, for tomorrow. Bitcoin needs to close above 9,730 on Friday. Failure to do so will open the door for more downside for next week. Got to maintain that strong close above 9,730. Failure to do so opens the door wide open for further correction next week, all right? So that's what we need for Bitcoin to remain bullish and for momentum, what you see right here, to remain on the bull side. All right, so that's what we need for Take Back Friday for Bitcoin. All right, moving right along. Let's take a look at our next chart. This is the spider. Okay, this is the XLF, the ETF for the financial sector. All right, that's what this is. So, taking a look here, as you can see, this market is up here at these lofty levels, kind of consolidating around this level, having a rough time with the $31 resistance area here. 31 is really tough. Going into Take Back Friday tomorrow, in order to maintain the bullish outlook for next week, this market needs a close above $31.05. Today we closed at $31.07. All right, forming a bullish pointer. All right, so I think the market's going to try to overcome some of today's loss on the pullback. And all we got to do is maintain that strong close. Got to close above 31.05 tomorrow, folks. Failure to do so will open up the door for further downside on Monday. Oh, okay. What's up, my man Mick? I appreciate that. Thanks for that like, man. Thanks for hitting that like. I really appreciate it. Thanks for the love and the support. All right, you be easy. Be safe out there. All right, so let's move on to our next one here. All right, so staying with the financial sector, looking at Wells Fargo. All right, this is Wells Fargo. This is what we did today. Okay. Now, you know, we're in a bear market. It's the beginning of a bearish run. Looks like the market wants to put in a leg lower. It failed to rally off the back-to-back rally alerts. We did get a little one, but the market couldn't sustain it. And now here we are way down here. All right. So this one is really struggling. In order to put in a short-term bottom, the market would need to close tomorrow above $47.38. All right, it missed it by 4 cents on the close today. Failure to do so tomorrow will open the door for further downside on Monday. We'll be looking to put in a new leg down. All right, a new fresh leg down will be in order come Monday if this market cannot close above $47.38. We're still in a bear market. All right. And the market is ready to roll over and sell off viciously. So this is one definitely to watch. Definitely on my alert, on my radar, is one to watch. I think more downside is coming. I think the financial sector's run could be up. All right. I say could be up. All right. Now, the next one is the U.S. dollar. The U.S. dollar has been on a tear. But we got to pause here for a second. All right. We got to take a look at, we got a bearish pointer here. All right. Can't ignore that. And we got two gaps, one here and one here. All right. These are key gaps that need to be dealt with. All right. If you go back further, you see we got one gap here and we got another gap here. Okay. This is looking similar. You're seeing this kind of pattern play out where you get the stage one pullback, but it doesn't come back to fill these two gaps. And then the market just takes off like it's been taking off running here. Now, all things being equal, this ticker, the US dollar index, UUP, it doesn't have a lot of volatility in it. It doesn't really have a lot of movement, all right, overall. The daily ranges on here are pretty small. But if you see this incredible run up, right, and no pullback, this lets you know that at some point, the market is going to have to come all the way back down here and fill these gaps, folks. All right. Gaps always get filled at some point, sooner or later. This is a great case study for you, though, a real live example on how the markets can, you know, kick the can down the road. But eventually, this will have to be reckoned. It will have to be reconciled. Someone can make an argument that, okay, so we were here, we gapped down here. Isn't a good argument that all we did back here was just fill this gap, and then we came down, and then it headed higher again? Well, the U.S. dollar is it's a complicated instrument. I remember when I first started my my career, you know, doing the Wall Street thing, and I was having a conversation with a very intelligent mathematician, physicist, and he was explaining to me how the makeup of the U.S. dollar itself as a currency instrument, tradable instrument, and how they create the forex, you know, intermarket situation is extremely complex, and no one can really put a finger on it. If you talk to one, economists, they'll say one thing, another one say another. You can talk to all the different mathematicians and financial experts out there, and you're not going to really get a good straight answer. It's going to be a convoluted one. And at the end of the day, it says that the dollar is a rare thing. I know it's a fiat currency and all that stuff. I know about the Federal Reserve. I know about all that other stuff. But right now, I'm talking purely from a market perspective. All right, the petrodollar, whatever, however you want to call it, it's a complicated thing. But I will say this: you know how the U.S. always likes to blame other countries for manipulating their currency. Well, that's exactly what's happening with the U.S. dollar. As a matter of fact, that's policy for currencies. Period. Countries intervene and they do, routinely manipulate their currencies up and down. And they have different tools at their disposal to do that. All right. It's just the nature of the beast. It's how the game is played. We don't have to like it, but we do have to understand it. Okay. So in this situation, I've been telling you guys, for years now, since Trump's been in office, that the White House has a strong dollar policy. No matter what they say out of their mouth, they have a strong dollar policy. They really want the dollar not only to remain the world reserve currency, but they want it to act like it. They want it to be the strongest kid on the block. They want it to be the most expensive currency on the block. And so it's marching on its way to try to accomplish that now. Once the dollar goes par, that's it. It's a wrap. That thing's gonna hit 140 so fast and make your head spin. That's right. Once we hit 100, I would not be surprised to see just exponential, catastrophic, parabolic upside growth. We go from 100 to 140 like lickety split 2 bars. I'm dead serious. Only because of just the craziness that's happening right now in the global economy. But here's your UUP. It's straight up. You got all these gaps that you're creating along the way, and none of them are being filled right now. This one's being ignored. This one's being ignored. These two down here are being ignored. The market could care less. At some point, we're going to come down and correct and fill these gaps. Just saying. So, got to stay alert. And you got to keep your eyes open, because maybe the thing that everyone's been talking about, the dollar crashing, could be at some point in the near future. Something's going to happen to make those gaps get filled. That's all I know. Something's going to happen. So just want to forewarn you now. All right. Here is UNG. This is nat gas. All right. UNG. Okay, so for those of you that don't like to play the futures, you can always go in with these ETFs. The UNG is the most popular. As you can see here, this is your chart. I want to point out a few things on this chart. All right. Here's the argument on why nat gas is about to put in a new leg lower. First of all, this is a primary crash alert. The last primary crash alert we got was back here. Market did proceed to fall. Prior to that, we got one here. Market proceeded to fall. Prior to that, one here. Market proceeded to fall. Prior to this one, right here, market proceeded to fall. And prior to this one, right here, market proceeded to fall and gap down and doing something, accelerating itself. This bar is this bar here, literally all over again, regardless of the bullish pointers that it's creating. Got a bullish pointer created here and never filled. Got another one here, and this one too is not going to be filled yet. For whatever reason, the market's about to pull back, fill this gap, and keep going. I know that spring is coming, so demand for the nat gas is going to go down because warmer temperatures makes this thing go down. I know it's been going straight down ever since, we've been in the winter. It's been a mild winter, but in regions where it hasn't been a mild winter, it's still a glut situation as far as inventories are concerned. We're awash in natural gas. All right, nat gas is everywhere. It's plentiful. That's why it's cheap. Prices are dropping. I see nothing but UNG falling even more. All right, rallies being sold in UNG. Tomorrow's Take Back Friday, and we got a primary crash alert. In order to put a short-term bottom in, this market needs to close tomorrow above $14.96. Failure to do so will cause this crash alert to play out into next week. All right, so that's your nat gas. Moving right along, it's time to talk Tesla. All right, so what do we have here? We got this bullish pointer from back here. We got the first round of pullback, stage one, which did complete. You filled this gap, but you ignored this one and this one. Then you created more gaps. You got a gap right here that you created, right? You got another one here. The last one was filled. Now you have a primary crash alert for Friday. Is this gap here going to be filled? Makes you wonder. All right, this is a beast of a stock. It's crazy, mad expensive. What is it going to do? Well, I tell you this. If this market doesn't close tomorrow above $856.94, then it is toast. It opens up wide doors, swinging wide open, double doors, double French doors, swinging wide open for downside into next week. And remember what I told you, 700 to 600 is your air pocket, and it's also your first initial pullback target once this thing starts falling. All right, so that's what Tesla needs tomorrow to remain bullish. Failure to do so sets up another top, and the market rolls over. All right, moving right along. Next one we got here is our bond. TLT is our ticker. We're coming off this secondary rally alert right here. Market breaks out, gaps up in the process. Tomorrow's Take Back Friday. Possible pullback is in play because it's Take Back Friday and because we have this gap. If we did not have this gap, then I would say that instead of a substantial pullback, we'll probably see a continuation rally for tomorrow based on how the stock market pulled back today. This is still in a bull market as well. And it looks like it wants to put in another leg higher. However, you got a gap here. You got a gap here. Got to be dealt with. You also have a gap back here and a gap right here. So at some point, something's got to give. And I think we come back down here. So another thing too, folks. Remember, when markets have been manipulated for an extended period of time, what normally happens is it throws off the correlations. So the bond can be plummeting along with the stock market because of that. You break the markets in a sense when you do that. When you manipulate the dollar the way they have been and the bond market the way they have been, when you have the government is the only source propping up a market, when you remove that government out of the picture, the market collapses, right? So, because no one else is buying. I'm concerned about the bond market and the US dollar only because of that purpose. All right. So this one, gotta watch it. All things being equal, it should continue to climb, but because of these gaps not being dealt with, whatever we see could be short-lived. And the pullback correction could be massive. All right. You've been warned. Taking a look at the S&P 500, the SPY is our ticker. We got a primary crash alert for Friday, for Take Back Friday. Looks like we're going to put in another leg down, similar to the last crash alert that played out here. I think this one is setting up to go follow us into next week. All right. So this market needs to close tomorrow above $336.56. Failure to do so opens the door wide open, slings those double French doors wide open for a pretty substantial correction into next week, bringing you all the way down to 325-ish. So you're looking at a $10 run to the downside toward the trend line support right here. All right, so you have a crash alert for your U.S. stock market for Friday. Looking at silver, ticker SLV, also has a primary crash alert for tomorrow. So we will see how this plays out. We don't want to see a double top situation. All right, we want to see this thing continue to climb. It's starting to get me a little excited here. Last time, we came up off this secondary rally alert, nothing happened. No follow through. Market proceeded to crash and gap down doing so. Got to keep your eyes and ears open, fam, on this, okay? This is one definitely watch. You can't ignore these rally and crash alerts. Even if we don't get follow through, fine, that's great. But you cannot afford to ignore primary rally and crash alerts. All right, even the secondary ones carry a lot of weight. You can't ignore them. All right, you ignore them at your own peril. Okay, so please hear me when I say rally alerts are not to be trifled with. Neither are crash alerts. When you see them, you have to deal with them. Primary crash alert right here. All right, that's all I'm going to say on it. You've heard what I had to say. Market needs to close tomorrow above $16.90 to maintain a bullish outlook for next week. Failure to do so opens up the downside further for next week, and it puts in a short-term top of which we could fall back down to the 1650 handle, which is the trend line support. We don't want to see a dollar pullback, just about. All right, we want to see a dollar rally, not a dollar pullback. Now I know what you're gonna say, but Dex, what about that gap right hither? What about that? And what about right hither? And what about right hither? I know, I see it. I'm not blind. I see the gaps. At some point, yes, it must be reconciled. The sooner a gap is reconciled, the better, the stronger the trend, okay? If this market would have pulled back immediately, fill this gap, fall back down, and then fill this gap right here, and then keep falling, oh my goodness, what's going on with precious metals? Oh, and then it fills this gap right here. Oh, wow. That's not going to be bearish. You will go below the Kumo cloud only temporarily, and then you would rubber band back, shoot right back up to here almost instantaneously. Probably do it in a couple of bars. That's really what you want to see. You'd rather see these gaps and or bullish and bearish pointers done right up immediately rather than later. Because if it's done later, then it's much more severe. You don't want to see silver go from where it is now to like $50 an ounce without taking care of its business back here, because then it's not going to sustain, and then we're going to have 2011 all over again. And then you fall from 50 all the way down here to 15. Is that what you want? Of course not. Let's come on down. Let's deal with this down here. Then we can take off. All right. So that's what we need for tomorrow for the SLV, $16.90 to maintain bullish outlook. Failure to do so opens up downside potential into next week. All right. Moving on. QQQ, NASDAQ 100. Primary crash alert for tomorrow. Let's talk about it. All right, so the U.S. stock market had a pullback today because here's the issue. This whole coronavirus thing is getting out of hand. A lot of information has come to light about the coronavirus situation in China. We now know that the numbers are being manipulated by the Chinese government. Those are facts, okay? Facts. But remember what I taught you the other day. There's truths and then there's facts, okay? Facts are not necessarily based on truth. All right. So just remember that. You have to examine both facts with truth. Okay. What up, Red Pill? I see you, my man. You got to keep these things together. You got to. All right. So let's look at it. Fact. The numbers are being manipulated coming out of China, right? Truth. The numbers are being manipulated all over the world. All right. Understand that straight up. We now have new evidence that is suggesting that more lies are not just coming out of China, but coming out of the United States, coming out of every other country that has reported a case. All right. We have it on good sources, good information, inside people putting up videos, leaking out information, saying that it's being covered up. Now, I know some people who are listening, you probably work in government. All right. And you're saying, well, no, you don't understand. You don't want to cause panic, blah, blah, blah. It's irresponsible to do so. I get that to a point. To a point. All right. People should be told the truth so they can make well-informed decisions. All right. Only people that don't want you to know the truth say, oh, we're just protecting you. You're an idiot. You can't handle the truth. You can't handle this information. So we have to spoon feed it to you like you're an infant. All right. No, people should be told the truth. You should always deal truthfully with the public. Give it to them straight. All right. And then stand behind your word. Don't say there's no need to panic when you yourselves have been preparing and acting for panic. All right. When your government's panicking, how can they expect you not to panic? And don't act like you have something to hide or be shady and cover stuff up or talk in circles and things like that and being caught and contradicting yourself every other word. That's not a good look. That's not going to get the public to trust the government. If the government wants the people to trust it, it needs to deal truthfully with the people. That's all we're saying. All right. So facts are coming out. Truth is coming out about this virus, and it's finally starting to spook Wall Street. Now, America was the last bastion of I don't believe the hype. Our markets have been going up for the last couple of weeks, saying we don't believe that any of this stuff is a big deal. But now companies are starting to come out and say, that's not true. We're gonna go ahead and take a write-off here, take a charge. We're gonna warn on our earnings. You know, we're not making money because of what's going on in China. China's affecting us now. We're starting to be affected now. Okay, it's kind of like being on a crowded subway train during rush hour, and someone lets loose one of the most deadly chemical attacks known to man. And this chemical attack happens every day on crowded subways around the world during rush hour. And no one talks about it. It's being kept out of the media. It's being kept. You don't hear about it on TV. You don't hear about it in the news. You don't hear about it on the radio. No one talks about this. And millions of people are affected every day from this chemical attack. You probably wondering what I'm talking about. Are you ready for this? It's called the silent fart. Those of you who've been exposed to that chemical attack, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You don't hear it coming. It doesn't make a sound. It's silent. But the smell is deadly. And you're trapped. You can't move. You can't go to another car. You're trapped in a crowded train during rush hour, and there's not even elbow room. Well, that's what's happening here, okay? they're 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 saying we can't get out, we can't move. We're trapped in this situation. All right. What did I tell you guys the other day? I told you that China is our global manufacturer. If the global manufacturer shuts down, then how is nothing's going to move, folks. Nothing's going to move. Okay? It's just how it is. All right? So China is saying, look, we shut down. All right? Other countries are saying, well, you know what, brother, you shut down or not. We're not dealing with you right now. We're not messing with you like that. Okay? We're not messing with you right now because we're not trying to get sick. We don't want to take any of your imports. All right. And we don't want to send out no one to use for export. We don't even want to deal with y'all right now until y'all handle that over there. But it's too late because the disease has traveled all over the globe now. And the numbers are being massaged. All right. This is what it is. So I'm putting it out there for you so you can know what time it is and so you can deal with what's going on. Now, let me lay a little something else on you because we're looking at this QQQ chart. This is a primary crash alert for tomorrow. This is a massive bearish pointer. This back here is a massive bearish pointer. Where do you think the market is going to correct when it does? Can you say back here? I'm just saying. The pointer, folks. The pointers. They're telling you something. Crash alert for the NASDAQ tomorrow. What does the NASDAQ need to do to maintain a bullish outlook and not succumb to the crash alert? Needs to close tomorrow above $234.36. It's right there on the edge, folks. Ready to roll over. Can it sustain? We need strength in this market. If not, the correction's coming. Just saying. Moving along. All right, the next thing we're looking at here is oil, ticker OIH, which tracks the crude oil futures. We're bearish, starting to arc up a little bit, sideways action, right? We're not hitting a new low. We're not hitting a new high. We are consolidated outside of the Kumo cloud, just moving sideways. But what needs to happen tomorrow? The market needs to close tomorrow above $11.19. Failure to do so would open the door wide open to more pullback for next week, thus fulfilling the bearish pointer right here. All right. Right hither. We go from hither to thither right here. All right. That's what's in play for this if we do not close tomorrow above $11.19, which we are right there on the cusp. Market needs to do a little something, something. If not, then oil is going to fall further. Just saying. All right, taking a look at NVIDIA. Someone asked me about this. So I said if I can remember, I'll do it. Primary crash alert for NVIDIA for tomorrow. You got this big, massive gap, this big gaping hole right here for NVIDIA. Down here around the 275, 280-ish range. That is what is in play. You're looking at a possible $25 drop in NVIDIA unless it can close tomorrow above $294.81. Should be easy, being that we closed above 308.70 today, which created a bearish pointer. And so you know what that means. Look out below NVIDIA. Looking for a possible top here, short-term top could be in place in the NVIDIA. Last primary crash alert we got was right here. Market did pull back. Prior to that, right here, market did pull back. I'm just saying. Look out below for NVIDIA. Going to the crypto space, looking at our altcoins, starting off with NEO. So we had a crash alert for the NEO, and NEO did do exactly as anticipated. Where do we go from here? We have no additional clear signal for tomorrow, just more of the same following the track of the correction. So I'm looking for us to head lower tomorrow in the Ethereum. I'm sorry, in the NEO. So you're gonna have to watch this between Friday and Saturday. All right, Friday into Saturday for this particular one, and then we'll see where we go from there. What do we need to do? If the market can stay above $14.46, then this will open the door for a nice technical bounce and a short-term bottom for next week. But it's going to have to close over this tomorrow and maintain this into Sunday. All right, crypto's a little bit different because they trade 24/7 with no pause. So this has to extend itself into Saturday. Not good enough to close above 1446 on Friday. It must also remain and do so into Sunday evening at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Don't ask me why. It's just how it is. Keep your eyes open for NEO. All right. Next one, Litecoin. Staying with the altcoins. Same scenario for the Litecoin. Litecoin needs to close above $72.93. Failure to do so would open up the potential to drop below the trend line support into the 60s and even possibly the 50s. So we're still under the auspices of the crash alert, and we got it. This is going to have to maintain itself into Sunday. All right. So keep that in mind. Good looking out, man. That's what I'm talking about. Get that six-pack, man. Get a six-pack for you and a buddy. All right? Don't drink alone. All right? Now, you guys probably thinking, okay, is this man giving out six-packs? Of course I am. But this is not the kind of six-pack that's going to keep you thirsty. You drink from this six-pack and you'll never be thirsty again. But you got to go to postwaytrading.com to find out what I'm talking about. All right, so we're going to move on to the next one here. And we got hack. We've been talking about that hack. All right, it's come. The moment that we were talking about. Got a primary crash alert in hack for Friday. Market needs to close above $44.46 on Friday to maintain a bullish outlook into next week. Failure to do so will open up the door of correction. And then we'll be saying that $43 trend line support would be in play. All right, so that's where we are. You will be able to watch that in the trading room, Kyle. If anyone who misses the webinar tomorrow, we will be posting it up in the trading room. It should be on the dashboard, as a matter of fact, for subscribers. So you should be good to go. You should be able to find that in the trading room. If you have an issue finding it, you can hit one of us up, and we can make sure you have access to that. All right. So good looking out. All right. So hack needs to close above 44.46 tomorrow, and with this primary crash alert, the last one we had was back here. You see what happened. I'm thinking we're going to come down and test this trend line support. So I'm saying look out below. I know we're bullish, but you got this negative momentum here. Now, this is not a primary crash alert. This is a momentum reading. This is what we call a negative bot check. All right. The negative bot check it picks up certain things in the market. And on this one, it's picking up that there could be a rush to the exit on this one, profit taking for Take Back Friday. So that's basically what we're saying here. The last one that we got was back here, and it really didn't play out per se. I mean, it took a while, then we finally did come down, but we really didn't correct. Instead, the market, took off. Will this be more of the same? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But it is looking like we could correct. Just be prepared, put your stops in. All right, looking at gold now, looking at ticker GLD, just a straight up powerhouse. Could be getting into the overbought level. We'll know because you'll see that on tomorrow, people start taking money off of the table ahead of the weekend. The GLD, all it needs to do is close tomorrow above $150.59. If it can do that, then we have the door wide open for more upside movement into next week. All right. So this one's looking really strong. It's looking real strong. And we'll see what we can gather. All right. So the next one we got here is GDXJ, primary crash alert for tomorrow. The thing is, we got a bullish pointer as well. So the correction should be well supported, well defended. I don't think we're in jeopardy of falling below the Kumo cloud or the trend line on this one. But this trend line, it does need to get up out of this Kumo cloud, though. It's still not out the cloud yet. So we need more upside and we need more time to see what's going to happen. But right now, you got support around the $41 handle. So hopefully we don't see too big of a correction. Or if we do, that we'll find some support at this top of the Kumo cloud. That will bode well for the market. All right, so keep your eyes and ears open. We got a primary crash alert. The market needs to close tomorrow above $42.62 to maintain a bullish outlook going into next week. All right. Looking at Bitcoin, but on the ETF side, looking at ticker GBTC. So we had a triple setup of crash alerts, primary, secondary, primary. Market finally rolls over here. Negative momentum reading for tomorrow. So this one is in jeopardy of pulling back some more. Right now, the trend line support around $10.50 to $11 is the initial target. And we're starting a bearish pattern here, meaning that we're going into full-blown correction mode. So we expect that we could see more pullback here in the next couple of days. Market does need to close above $12.79 tomorrow. Failure to do so will open the door wide open to further correction next week. All right. Taking a look now at Ethereum, going back to our altcoins. Ethereum, we're coming off of this primary crash alert. We're not really getting too much downside follow through, but at this rate, though, the trend line support around the $200 mark is in play. If the market fails to close above $261.48 between Friday and Saturday, okay? So this extends into Saturday evening. Really, no, yeah, I want to say into Saturday evening. And really, for cryptos, they really need to maintain themselves over the weekend. That's like the biggest thing. If it can't, then yeah, you pretty much fall apart come Sunday night into Monday. All right. Next, we got Dash. So let's see here. Now, Dash is already at the trend line. All right. And we're coming off of this crash alert. So it's looking like it's threatening to go below the Kumo cloud. And that would drop it back into the 90s and the 80s. And that's a worrisome sign. And because we have a narrow Kumo cloud here too, yeah, this one is under a lot of pressure. I know we got this bullish pointer here. Market tried to advance to it and failed. So this is not a good sign. Normally, when you advance like this, you take this out and you keep running. It's failing at it. So it's almost like saying that it's not even there, and the market just wants to correct itself, and we're bearish too. This market needs to close above $110.83 over the weekend. Failure to do so will open the door wide open to falling off the cliff and have parabolic downward moves similar to the parabolic upward bars that we've seen here. Let's hope that's not the case. All right, BCH, staying with that crypto alt space. All right, so we got trend line support right here. It's looking like its predecessor in the last chart. This one's in jeopardy of going first to the top of the Kumo cloud, which is around 300-ish. So you're looking at a possible $72 drop if we cannot maintain a close above 397.29 over the weekend into Sunday night. Failure to do so will open up further downside correction into next week, threatening to drop us below that Kumo cloud if it gets enough energy behind it. And that's it, folks. I am exhausted. I am wore out. I have given you mad chartage tonight. Mad chartage. That's how we roll, though. You know, I got to take care of you. I got to give you the what's up. You know, I don't just throw you under the bus. I got to take care of you, okay? All right. So, it is what it is. This is what we do. This is how we roll. Postwavetrading.com. We got this webinar coming up. It's coming up on tomorrow. That's right. Tomorrow's Friday. Good grief. All right. So this Friday, if you go to postwavetrading.com, you can register for the 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time webinar. And we're going to be talking about the biggest upgrade to my price triggers ever. All right. Ever. We're going to be talking about a lot of different things, and we may even throw in a surprise. All right. So that's all I got to say on that right now. I don't want to give away too much, but I do have major announcements to put out. All right. So with that being said, once again, I do appreciate you guys. Don't forget to smash that like button, share the video with someone. You never know who it may help and encourage. And go ahead and subscribe, hit that bell so you'll be notified of new content upcoming. And do yourself a favor, go to postwavetrading.com and sign up for a free account. We got a bunch of goodies in there. All right. A bunch. Okay. So you need to take advantage of it while it's still there. Hey, good looking out, Red Pill. He says he shorted Ethereum yesterday based on my crash alert confirmation yesterday, and it was a great call. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. You know, I try, man. That's what I'm here. I've been on YouTube, you know, like a decade now. This is what I do. So I try to make it so that people can win, you know, or at least have an opportunity to do so. I'm only as successful as you guys. You know what I mean? So with that in mind, remember, bulls make money, bears make money, and pigs get slaughtered. So remember to take what you can and give nothing back. What that means is take what you can, extract what money you can from these markets, and don't be an idiot and give away all your profit back to the market because you failed to use a protective stop. Always use a protective stop loss. Not mental stop losses, hard stop losses. Put the ticket in and press send, press enter. Stop being lazy. Stop being greedy. Do what you got to do. If you're stopped out of a market with profit, remember, you never go broke taking profits. And you can always get back into the trade. And with that said, I'm out. Peace.